The envelope in Madison Blake's hand should have been mine. I watched from the third row as she walked to the stage. Her blonde hair bounced. Her white dress was designer, probably cost more than my mom's car. Principal Chen smiled at her. Our Sullivan Scholarship winner. $200,000. Full ride to MIT. The auditorium applauded. Madison's parents stood. Her mom was crying happy tears. Her dad had his phone up, recording everything. My scholarship. My MIT acceptance. My future. Madison opened the envelope, read the certificate, smiled that perfect Paget smile she'd practiced 1,000 times. Thank you so much, she said into the microphone. This scholarship means everything. IMET has been my dream school since I was 5. Lie. Complete lie. She told me 2 months ago she wanted USC. Warm weather, cute boys, easy classes. But IMET was my dream, my escape. Why chance? I'd worked 4 years for this. Perfect grades while working 20 hours a week at the library. Debate team captain, science club president, volunteering every weekend. Madison had money, connections, a trust fund waiting at 21. She didn't need this scholarship. I did. I'm so honored, she continued, and I promise to make the most of this opportunity. My hands gripped the chair in front of me. My nails dug into the plastic. I wanted to scream, to stand up, to tell everyone what she'd done. But I sat frozen, watching my future slip away. 3 weeks ago, we both presented to the scholarship committee, final round. Me and Madison, 2 candidates, 1 winner. I'd prepared for months. My presentation was perfect. 20 slides, research data, innovation proposals, my plan to revolutionize renewable energy. Then, the morning of presentations, my laptop died. Completely. Wouldn't turn on. I had to present using backup slides from my phone. Rushed, unprofessional, missing half my data. Madison went next. Her presentation was flawless. Polished slides, confident delivery. She crushed it. The committee barely asked me questions afterward. They spent 30 minutes talking to Madison. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't prove it until yesterday when I got my laptop fixed. The tech guy found malware, deliberately installed, designed to corrupt the hard drive. Someone did this on purpose, he'd said. Probably uploaded remotely if you've shared Wi-Fi with them. Madison and I had studied together the week before presentations at her house, on her Wi-Fi. She'd sabotaged me, destroyed my laptop, stolen my scholarship. And now she stood on that stage, accepting my award, my money, my future. The audience stood for another ovation. My mom squeezed my hand. She knew. She'd seen my destroyed laptop, read the tech report. Madison's eyes found mine in the crowd. Just for a second, she winked. Actually winked. That's when I decided she wasn't keeping that scholarship. But let me back up and tell you how the richest girl in school became my worst enemy. The next 2 weeks were torture. Madison acted like we were still friends, waved in the hallways, smiled at lunch, pretended nothing had happened. I avoided her, took different routes, ate in the library. My laptop sat on my desk, dead weight. Reminder of failure. I finally took it to a repair shop. See what you can salvage, I told the tech. Might take a few days. That's fine. Damage is done anyway. Graduation was next week. Scholarship announcement 3 days after that. I'd already lost. MIT had accepted me, but without the scholarship, I couldn't afford it. Even with financial aid, I'd graduate with massive debt. State school was my backup. Good school, but not MIT. Not my dream. Madison posted on Instagram constantly. Shopping for dorm stuff. MIT bound. Captions. Pictures of crimson and gray college gear. My college hadn't even been announced yet. She was celebrating. The comments were full of congratulations. So proud. You deserve it. Always knew you'd make it. Nobody knew the truth. Nobody would believe me if I told them. Then the repair shop called. Your laptop's fixed, but you need to see something. I went immediately. The tech guy pulled up diagnostics on his screen. Your hard drive didn't just fail, he said. Someone installed malware, specifically designed to corrupt the system. It was deliberate. My stomach dropped. Deliberately? Yeah. And it was uploaded remotely. You connect to any unfamiliar Wi-Fi recently? Madison's house. We studied together. He nodded slowly. That would do it. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. This isn't amateur stuff. Can you prove where it came from? Not without access to the Wi-Fi network it was uploaded from. But I can prove it was malware, not a natural failure. Give me everything. documentation, screenshots, all of it. He burned it to a drive. Good luck. This is pretty messed up. I took the evidence home, stared at it for hours, proof that Madison had sabotaged me. But what could I do? The presentations were over, the decision probably already made. Going to the committee now would look like sore loser behavior, unless I could prove she cheated in other ways too. I started digging. Her scholarship application, her essay, her volunteer hours. The essay was too good, too polished. I ran it through plagiarism checkers. Clean. But the writing style didn't match her class papers. Someone had definitely helped. Her volunteer hours. 200 hours at the food bank. I called them. Hi, I'm verifying volunteer hours for Madison Blake. Madison? She comes sometimes. Maybe once a month. Her application says 200 hours. That can't be right. She's done maybe 20 hours total. Bingo. Falsified volunteer hours. I called the other places she'd listed. Same story. Inflated numbers, outright lies. I documented everything. Built a file, evidence of sabotage, fraud, lies. But I needed more. Something undeniable. That's when I remembered. The presentation committee recorded everything. Video archives for their records. If I could get those recordings, I could prove Madison's presentation used my research, my ideas, repackaged as hers. I emailed Mr. Rodriguez. He was on the committee. He'd always liked me. I'd like to review my presentation. For learning purposes. Can I access the recordings? He responded same day. Sure, come by after school. I watched both presentations back to back. Mine was rough. Clearly sabotaged. But the content was original. Innovative. Madison's was smooth, professional, and full of my ideas. Not copied word for word, but the core concepts, the research approaches, the solutions. She'd taken my work and made it prettier. Then delivered it with confidence money can buy. I recorded both videos on my phone, made transcripts, highlighted the similarities. Now I had proof. Malware, falsified hours, stolen ideas. But the scholarship was about to be announced. I was running out of time. I needed to act fast and publicly. The scholarship ceremony was in 2 days, in front of the whole school, parents, press, committee members. If I was going to expose Madison, that was my moment. I started preparing. The scholarship ceremony arrived too fast. I dressed carefully, navy dress, professional, like I was ready for business, because I was. My mom drove me to school. She'd taken off work. Whatever happens, she said, I'm proud of you. I might cause a scene. Good. Some scenes need causing. The auditorium filled quickly. Students, parents, local press. The Sullivan family had founded this scholarship 50 years ago. The announcement was a big deal. Madison was backstage with her parents. I could see them through the side door. Her mom fixing her hair, her dad coaching her. They looked ready for a coronation. Principal Chen opened the ceremony. Talked about excellence, achievement, the future. Then came the moment. This year's Sullivan Scholarship recipient, she announced. Madison Blake. Applause erupted. Madison walked out. Perfect smile, perfect posture, perfect act. She accepted the envelope, the certificate, the photo opportunity. Then she started her speech. This scholarship means everything to me, she said. MIT has always been my dream. My hands clenched. That was my line, from my application essay. I want to use engineering to solve real problems. Climate change, energy crisis, global sustainability, my words, my goals, my passion, coming out of her lying mouth. The audience ate it up. People nodded, smiled, some white tears. Madison's eyes found mine. She smiled, smug, victorious. That smile broke something in me. I stood up. Excuse me, I said loudly. The auditorium went quiet. Everyone turned. Principal Chen frowned. Sarah, please sit. Madison Blake committed fraud to win this scholarship. Gasps. Whispers. Madison went pale. This is highly inappropriate, Principal Chen said. So is sabotage. So is falsifying volunteer hours. So is stealing someone's research. Madison's dad stood up. This is slander. We'll sue. Then sue. I have proof. I pulled out my laptop. Can I use the projector? The committee members looked at each other. One of them, Mrs. Sullivan herself, nodded. Let her speak. Principal Chen looked trapped. 5 minutes, that's all. Mr. Rodriguez helped me connect. My screen appeared on the wall behind Madison. 5 minutes. I had to make them count. I pulled up the malware report first. 3 weeks ago, my laptop was deliberately sabotaged, the day before our presentations. Here's the tech report. Malware installed remotely from Madison's home Wi-Fi network. People leaned forward, squinting at the technical details. Madison shook her head. That's not. I didn't. Here are the timestamps, the exact night I was at your house, studying together. Or so I thought. Her face was red now. Her dad started to interrupt. Wait, Mrs. Sullivan said. Let her finish. I switched screens. Madison claimed 200 volunteer hours on her application. I called every organization. Here are their confirmations. 20 actual hours. 180 fabricated. Murmurs spread through the audience. Committee members looked at each other. And finally, I pulled up the presentation videos. Watch these 2 presentations. Mine was sabotaged. Unprofessional. But the research is original. I played clips. My ideas. My innovations. Then Madison's. Now watch hers. Polished. Professional. And using my research. My concepts. Repackaged. I played them side by side. The similarities were obvious. Undeniable. She didn't just sabotage my presentation. She stole my work, then delivered it better than I could after she destroyed my equipment. The silence was deafening. Madison was crying, mascara running. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I'm so sorry. My dad said I had to prove myself. I panicked. I didn't know what else to do. Her confession hung in the air. Mrs. Sullivan stood. Her face was stone. Madison Blake, you are hereby disqualified from the Sullivan Scholarship, effective immediately. Madison's mom grabbed her arm. We're leaving. They rushed toward the exit. Reporters followed, cameras flashing. I stood there, shaking. My mom was crying in the audience. Mr. Rodriguez gave me a thumbs up. Mrs. Sullivan approached me. Miss Park, I believe we have a scholarship to award to the rightful winner. Actually, I'm jumping ahead. Let me back up. The plan didn't start at the ceremony. It started 3 days earlier. After getting all my evidence, I knew I had one shot, one moment to make this right. But I needed it to be bulletproof, undeniable, public enough that it couldn't be swept under the rug. I started by calling MIT directly. Admissions office, how can I help you? Hi, my name is Sarah Park. I was accepted for fall admission. I'm calling about the Sullivan Scholarship. Of course. Congratulations. Has the winner been announced yet? Not publicly. The committee notifies us the day before the ceremony. Why? I have evidence that this year's selection process was compromised. Is there someone I can speak with? Let me transfer you to Dean Morrison. I spent 30 minutes on the phone with the dean, explained everything, sent the evidence files. This is serious, she said. If these allegations are true, we can't accept a scholarship student who committed fraud. The ceremony is in 3 days. We'll send a representative to observe. If you can prove this publicly, MIT will take action. Next, I contacted the local newspaper. The education reporter, you interested in a story about scholarship fraud? Always. What do you have? I gave him the basics. He wanted to run it immediately. No, I said. Hold it until after the ceremony. I want to confront her publicly. Then you can break the full story. He agreed, said he'd be there with cameras. Then I practiced, over and over, what I'd say, how I'd present the evidence. 5 minutes, everything clear and concise. My mom helped me time it. Slower, she'd say, make sure they understand each point. My brother made me practice dealing with interruptions. That's a lie, he'd shout, playing Madison's dad. I'd pause, stay calm, keep going. Here's the proof. Again and again until I could do it without shaking. The night before, I barely slept. Ran through the plan 100 times. What if they didn't let me speak? What if the projector didn't work? What if Madison's family really did sue? My mom found me at 2 a.m. staring at my laptop. You're doing the right thing, she said. Am I? What if I'm wrong? What if this backfires? You have proof. You have truth. That's all you need. The morning of the ceremony, I packed everything carefully. Laptop, backup USB drives, printed copies of all evidence, phone recordings, witnesses' statements. I dressed like I was going to trial, because I was. At school, I saw Madison in the parking lot. She was with her parents. They were laughing, excited, celebrating early. She saw me, waved, had the audacity to smile. I didn't wave back. In the auditorium, I chose my seat carefully. Third row, center, where everyone could see me stand up, where my voice would carry. Mr. Rodriguez saw me, gave me a subtle nod. He knew what was coming. I'd warned him. If I'm right, I told him yesterday, the committee needs to know. And if you're wrong, I'm not. The ceremony started. I barely heard the opening remarks. My heart pounded. My hands sweated. The evidence drive felt heavy in my pocket. This was it, my one chance. When Principal Chen announced Madison's name, when the applause started, I took a deep breath, stood up, and changed everything. After Mrs. Sullivan's announcement, chaos broke loose. Parents were shouting, students recording on phones, reporters rushing forward with cameras. Madison's family tried to leave, but reporters blocked the exits. Questions flew at them. Did you know your daughter committed fraud? Will you return the scholarship money? Is MIT revoking her acceptance? Madison's dad shoved through. No comment. No comment. It disappeared out a side door. Gone. I stood frozen on stage. My laptop still connected. My evidence still displayed. Mrs. Sullivan approached me. Miss Park, on behalf of the Sullivan Foundation, I apologize. This should have been caught during review. It should have. I agreed. The scholarship is yours. $200,000, full ride to MIT. The audience applauded, this time for me. Real applause, earned. My mom rushed to the stage, hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. You did it, baby. You did it. The MIT representative introduced herself. Dean Morrison had sent her. We'll be rescinding Miss Blake's acceptance, she said, effective immediately, and we'd like to formally welcome you, Miss Park. Full scholarship, full support. The reporters swarmed me next. Cameras, questions. How did you discover the fraud? What made you decide to go public? Were you scared she'd get away with it? I answered each question. The story went viral within hours. Local news, then regional, then national. Scholarship fraud exposed in dramatic ceremony confrontation. My phone exploded. Messages from everyone, friends, teachers, strangers. You're my hero, one girl wrote. I was too scared to report cheating at my school. Not anymore. That message made everything worth it. Madison's MIT acceptance was revoked. The scholarship returned. Her application flagged for fraud. Every college she'd applied to was notified. Most rescinded their acceptances. The few that didn't, she declined, too embarrassed to attend. Her parents hired lawyers, threatened to sue everyone. The school, the committee, me. Nothing happened. You can't sue someone for telling the truth with proof. The school launched an investigation, found Madison had cheated in other ways too. Test answers bought online. Essays written by tutors. Extra credit assignments never completed. Her diploma was held. She'd have to complete summer school to graduate officially. Her social media disappeared overnight. Instagram deleted. TikTok gone. Every trace of MIT bound. Removed. I heard through friends she'd enrolled in community college. Starting over, her reputation destroyed. Part of me felt bad. I'd ruined her life publicly, permanently. But she'd tried to ruin mine first. She'd just been less successful. The scholarship ceremony was rescheduled. Small, intimate, just family and committee. Mrs. Sullivan handed me the check herself. You earned this twice, she said. Once by merit, once by courage. I deposited it the next day. $200,000. My future secured. MIT sent a welcome package, housing information, course catalogs, a handwritten note from the dean. We're proud to have you. Truth tellers make the best engineers. Graduation came and went. I walked across that stage with my head high. No speech, no spotlight, just my diploma and my integrity. The local newspaper ran a feature story. Student exposes scholarship fraud, wins justice. The reporter interviewed me, my mom, Mr. Rodriguez, even Mrs. Sullivan. Sarah represents what the Sullivan Scholarship was meant for, Mrs. Sullivan said in the article. Someone who works hard, stays honest, and doesn't give up when things get difficult. That quote made my mom cry. Happy tears this time. Summer passed quickly. I worked, saved money, Prepared for MIT. Madison's name occasionally popped up. Someone would ask what happened to her. I'd shrug, say I didn't know, didn't care. That wasn't entirely true. I did wonder sometimes if she learned anything, if she'd try to become a better person. But that wasn't my responsibility. I'd exposed the lie. The rest was up to her. MIT started in August. I moved into my dorm, met my roommate, started classes. Everything I'd dreamed about, everything I'd worked for, everything Madison had tried to steal. My roommate asked about the scandal. My roommate asked about the news. Do you regret exposing her? I thought about it, really thought about it. No, I said finally. I regret trusting her, but I don't regret fighting back. What if you hadn't found the evidence? Then she would have stolen my future, and I would have spent my life wondering what if. Instead, I was here, at MIT, with a full scholarship, living my dream. 4 years later, I graduated top of my engineering class, got offers from Tesla, Google, SpaceX. I chose renewable energy research, the thing I'd pitched in my original presentation, the one Madison had sabotaged. During my graduation speech, I talked about integrity, about fighting for truth even when it's hard, about not letting others steal your voice. I didn't mention Madison. Didn't need to. Everyone who mattered already knew the story. After the ceremony, Mrs. Sullivan found me. I'm proud of you, Sarah. You've done exactly what we hoped a Sullivan scholar would do. Thank you for believing me. Thank you for having the courage to speak up. That courage changed my life, saved my future, taught me the most important lesson. Your integrity is worth fighting for, always, no matter the cost, and sometimes the truth is the only weapon you need.